Hello everyone and welcome back to Code with Lisa channel and to our Java tutorial series. In this lesson we will talk about variables. I will explain these concepts in simple terms. So let's get started. And now let's talk about variables. Imagine that you have boxes where you can store different items. In programming, these boxes are called variables, and the items are the data you store in them. For example, here we have a line hello, and we should to sort it in line bin. Yeah. Then we have a number with dot, yeah, or with comma. That means that we should sort it in another bin. Then we have characters, and characters are in the third one, and just a number without commas or something like that, and we sort it in a fourth bin. And now let's talk about primitive types in Java. So primitive types are the most basic data types available in Java, and they are predefined by the language and they named by keyword. So Java defines 8 primitive types of data: byte, short, int, long, char, float, double, and boolean. So let's create one of them. Int, based on my experience, is the most popular primitive type. In order to create it, you need to write a keyword, so just int, then you need to write a name. Let's name it age, assign 25. And let's just output it, and you'll see that this variable age contains value 25. You have to wait a little bit. Yeah, 25. And now let's see what happens if we remove the number assignment. System out println doesn't work. This is because the variable age is declared but not initialized. In Java, local variables must be initialized before they are used, and attempting to use an uninitialized local variable results in a compilation errors. We can see here, variable age might not have been initialized. That's why it doesn't work. So let's see it, and we can see that we have a compilation error, and and here we can see this error. Return the initialization. And you might wonder why we can't just print 25 directly here in this parenthesis like this. Imagine a situation where you need to print a large text, and in this text the number 25 appears many times. I copied this text and I can just put it here, and here you can see a lot of 25s. So let's just make it more readable. And in this text the number 25 appears many times. Later you realize you made a mistake or simply want to change 25 to 10, for example. It would take a long time to change this manually throughout the text, and it increases the risk of errors. So let's just imagine that you need to change this to 10, this to 10, and so on. Of course, you can make an error. So what you can make? You can just replace the numbers with a variable. And now you can put any number you need into variable. So let's just see it. Now we will see on the 10th of December, John received 10 gifts, and so on. So let's just wait a little bit. Yes, and if you want to see 25, you just need to change one variable. Okay. This is not the only reason to use variables, of course. Imagine you need to print the user's age, and user can have any age. So let's just comment it. Okay, and for this you need the user to input their age first, and then you can save or display it. The number can vary. So let's print a code. And now I want to explain my code. At line 15 I declared a variable. In line 16 I created an object in order to take a user's age. At line 17 I asked the user to enter the age. At line 18 the user will enter the age, and I will save it in this variable. And in line 19 I just output it. So let's see how it works. Our program asks us to enter the age, for example 25, and here we can see user's age 25, this line. And now let's talk about other primitive types. What if we know for sure that the number will be small, specifically in the range of -128 to 127? In this case, we can use the byte type. So let's just declare it. The difference between byte and int is the amount of space they occupy. A byte takes up 1 byte, while an int takes up 4 bytes. Let's create a variable for the number of fingers, for example, number of fingers, and let's assign it with 5. Yes, and now we can make our system out println number of fingers Yes, and now we can see that we will have 5 fingers. Number of fingers 5. Okay, but what if we want to assign the value 129, for example? In that case, the compiler will indicate that we cannot do this, that required type byte, here we require byte, but we provided int. That means that it doesn't work. So now let's return a normal value, and let's talk about short and long primitive types. So the short data type is used to store small integers. It's a good choice when you know our numbers will be within this range and you want to save memory, for example. And it can be used in applications like embedded systems. And in order to declare it, you just need to write short, for example, value is 7, for example. Okay. And also exists the primitive type that exceeds the range of int. It can handle very big numbers up to around 9 quintillion, which makes it suitable for things like financial calculations, scientific data, or tracking time over long periods. So it's a long value. Let's name it long value. Long value, for example, 2340. And now I want to make a small paper sheet. This one. And here you can see which primitive type, how many memory occupies, and so on. So it can be helpful for you. And now, what if the number we need to store isn't a whole number, but a decimal? In Java, we have two main data types for handling floating point numbers. This is float and double. And now let's talk about float. Float data type is used to save memory in large arrays of floating point numbers. It stores decimal numbers and is precise up to 7 digits. This type takes up 4 bytes of memory, and for example, if you are working with graphics or simple physics calculations where high precision is not crucial, you might choose float. And in order to declare it, you just need to write float. Let's write float value. For example, 8.5, and you need to write here f. Yes, so this is a float, and you have to remember that in the end you have to write f. Okay, I want to align it. And now let's talk about double. The double data type is more precise than float, with a precision of up to 15 digits. It uses 8 bytes of memory, making it suitable for more accurate calculations. If you are dealing with financial calculations or scientific data that require a high degree of accuracy, double is the way to go. And in order to declare it, you just need write double. Let's write double value is 8, and for example 555. And here you don't need to write D or any specific symbols. Okay, and now let's align it. I wanted to add that you can write this D, but it's not necessary, because in float case you have to write this F, and if you delete it, you will have a compile mistake, required type float but provided double. So here you have to clarify that it's float, but in double it's not necessarily. Okay, and now let's speak about Boolean. So what means Boolean? In Java, a Boolean is a data type that can hold only one of two values, true or false. And it's used to represent logical values and is particularly useful for making decisions in your code. Booleans are often used in conditions to control the flow of your program. For example, if a user is logged in, so let's just write logged in. In this case, we can write that our value is true. Or if we will write here false, that means that our user is not logged in. Think of a boolean like a light switch. The switch can either be on or off, just like a boolean can either be true or false. It's simply yes, no, or true, false concept. I noticed mistake, I forgot here D. Okay, and what if you want to declare lines or characters? So let's talk about chars. In Java, a char is a data type that used to store single characters. It uses 2 bytes of memory and can represent any character in the Unicode standard, which includes letters, digits, and symbols from various languages around the world. In order to declare char, you need to write char, for example, first initial, and please pay your attention, you need to use single quotes here. For example, L. Okay, and now let's see how it works. System out println. I just print this name. Okay, let's see it. Here we can see this result. I forgot to make space here, but I think that you understood conception. But what if you want to print a name or text? So in this case you need to use string. In Java, a string is a data type used to store a sequence of characters. Unlike char, which stores a single character, a string can store multiple characters, forming words, sentences, or any other text. These are one of the most commonly used data types in programming. And in order to declare it, you need to write string, for example, name, and then you have to write double quotes here and name, for example, my name, Lisa. Okay, and in order to see how it works, we can print these values, string and char. Okay, so let's just say system out println. My name is name, and let's just say my name starts with. In Java, the string type differs from primitive types in that it represents an object capable of storing and manipulating textual data of any length. And unlike primitive types such as int, boolean, string starts with a capital letter and supports a rich set of operations for text manipulation such as concatenation, comparison, and so on. Okay, and let's see how it works. So how you can see here, my name is Lisa, this string, and my name starts with L, this character. And that's all I wanted to tell you in this video. Thank you for your attention and see you soon. Bye bye.